The story begins with a dog named Max. Max tells us something very honestly. He doesn't like kids at all. In fact, he was actually happy that there were no kids in his house. But one day, his owner Katie met a man named Chuck, and after some time, the two of them got married. A few years later, Katie gave birth to a baby boy named Liam. At first, everything was going perfectly, but as Liam started growing up, he also started messing with Max all the time. Because of that, Max slowly began living in his own house like he was scared all the time. But then something unexpected happened. One day, Liam suddenly stopped bothering Max. Instead, he started copying Max and Duke's behavior. Liam was different from other kids, and from that moment on, Max made a promise to himself. He would never let anything bad happen to Liam. But Max started worrying about Liam so much that he eventually developed an itchy stress condition. Next door to Liam lives a girl named Molly, and she owns a rabbit named Snowball. Molly loves dressing Snowball in a superhero outfit and calls him Captain Snowball. After Molly leaves for school, Snowball jumps onto the balcony and starts acting like a real superhero. Max notices him and asks, "What exactly are you doing?" Snowball proudly replies, "I'm Captain Snowball. If any animal needs help, you can always call me." Then he suddenly asks Max, "By the way, have you prepared yourself for Liam going to preschool?" Hearing this, Max is completely shocked. He says, "What are you talking about? Liam can't leave me. He's supposed to stay with me forever." Just then, Duke arrives and tells Max that Liam has already left the house. Max immediately panics. He starts asking all of his animal friends if they've seen Liam. Luckily, a guinea pig named Norman finds him. Turns out Liam had simply gone outside for a walk with Chuck. Later, Katie discovers that Max has developed an itching problem, so she takes him to the animal doctor. The doctor places a dog cone around Max's neck, so he won't scratch himself while healing. But the cone makes Max feel very sad and uncomfortable. Back in his room, he suddenly sees his favorite toy, Busy Bee. Max gets excited, but there's a problem. Busy Bee is stuck under the table, and because of the cone, Max can't reach it. Meanwhile, Duke tells Max that Chuck and Katie are planning a road trip. Hearing this makes Max extremely happy. Before leaving, Max goes to visit his friend Gidget. He tells her, "Hey, we're going away for a few days. Can you please take care of Busy Bee until I come back? It's my favorite toy, so you have to protect it no matter what." Gidget happily agrees, so Max leaves Busy Bee with her and heads out on the trip with his family. During the drive, Max and Duke enjoy looking outside the car window. Soon they arrive at Chuck's uncle's farm, but the moment they get there, a turkey suddenly attacks Max. Luckily, the farm dog Rooster starts barking loudly. Hearing Rooster's voice, the turkey immediately runs away. Later that night, Max and Duke start chasing fireflies, but suddenly, one firefly flies straight into Max's mouth. Max starts panicking. He quickly drinks water from Rooster's bowl to wash it down. Rooster becomes extremely angry when he sees this, but Max apologizes, and Rooster finally calms down. Rooster then asks Max something strange. "Why are you keeping that kid locked up? Is he sick or something?" Max explains, "His name is Liam, and he's very mischievous. If we let him run free, he might wander too far, or climb a tree and fall down." Rooster listens carefully, and then says, "Kids are supposed to get a few bumps and bruises. That's how they grow. I understand you want to protect Liam, but honestly, you're worrying way too much." Max doesn't really understand what Rooster means, so he decides to go sleep near Liam, but Chuck's uncle doesn't allow Max inside the house and closes the door on him. Max is left outside, thinking about Rooster's words. Late at night, Max wakes up to check on Liam. Seeing Liam sleeping peacefully makes Max feel relieved and happy, but suddenly, a fox jumps out of nowhere and attacks Max. Luckily, Rooster hears the noise and rushes in. He immediately chases the fox away. Max quickly starts making excuses, saying he couldn't see the fox because of the cone on his head. Rooster rolls his eyes and simply pulls the cone off Max's head. Meanwhile, back in the city, we see Daisy arriving to meet Snowball and Chloe. She says she urgently needs to talk to Captain Snowball because an animal desperately needs help. Hearing this, Snowball immediately puts on his superhero costume and jumps into action. Daisy explains what happened. While returning from a vacation with her owner, she met a white tiger on the airplane. His name was Who. The poor tiger was locked inside a cage by a cruel circus master. Daisy couldn't understand Who's language, but just by looking at his eyes, she could see he was terrified, and the circus master was treating him terribly. So Daisy says, "No matter what, we have to rescue Who." Since Snowball already believes he's a super pet hero, he agrees immediately. Together, Daisy and Snowball head straight to the circus. There, the circus master Sergey is whipping Who and forcing him to jump from dangerous heights. Who is terrified. He slowly backs away in fear and accidentally falls into a tub of water. Angry, Sergey throws Who back into the cage, locks it, and leaves the key nearby before walking away. Daisy quietly approaches the cage. Seeing her makes Who feel hopeful, but 4 dangerous wolves, owned by Sergey, are guarding him. They warn Daisy to stay away from the tiger, but Daisy ignores them and goes straight for the cage key. The wolves are chained, so they can't reach her, but one of the wolves suddenly breaks free from its chain and attacks Snowball. Snowball panics and runs in every direction trying to escape. The wolf chases him across the circus. Eventually, Snowball stops near a ride ride machine. The wolf lunges at him, but its chain suddenly gets stuck in the ride seat. Just then Daisy arrives. She quickly straps the wolf into the ride and turns it on. The ride starts spinning wildly. Meanwhile, Daisy manages to trap the other wolves in their chains and grab the cage key. Finally, she unlocks the cage and rescues Who. Snowball becomes extremely proud of himself. He starts praising his own hero skills, but Daisy quickly stops him and says, "Don't celebrate yet. We're not done. Who still needs a safe place to stay, or he could get captured again." Snowball thinks for a moment and says, "Don't worry. I know a dog whose owner isn't home right now. We can hide Who there until we find him a better home." So they take Who to a place called Pop's Dog Training School. Inside, Pop is busy teaching a group of puppies how to become good dogs. But the moment Pop sees a tiger standing in the room, he completely panics. He immediately activates the alarm siren. The loud noise scares Who badly. In panic, he runs around the room and accidentally ends up dangling from the ceiling. Snowball quickly calms everyone down and explains, "Relax, this is Who. He just needs a place to stay for a while." But Pop is furious. He says, "That's a tiger. He already destroyed half the room. If I let him stay here, he'll destroy everything." Pop refuses to keep him there, but then something unexpected happens. The puppies instantly fall in love with Who. They start playing with him and make adorable puppy faces, begging Pop to let Who stay. Seeing their cute faces, Pop slowly melts. He sighs and says, "You're all taking advantage of me." Then he finally agrees. Who can stay, but only for one night. Hearing this, all the puppies cheer happily. Next we see Gidget, who is sleeping while holding Max's favorite toy, Busy Bee. While sleeping, she starts dreaming. In her dream, she has married Max, and Busy Bee is their little baby. Gidget happily leans forward and tries to kiss Max, but suddenly she wakes up, and Busy Bee slips from her hands and flies right out the window. Gidget quickly tries to catch it, but Busy Bee falls down from the balcony and lands inside the apartment of the crazy cat lady. Gidget peeks through the window. Inside the room, she sees dozens of cats, and they're all fighting with each other over Busy Bee. Gidget realizes she can't possibly fight that many cats alone, so she runs to ask her cat friend Chloe for help. Chloe comes up with a clever plan. She attaches a fake cat tail and ears to Gidget and begins teaching her how to behave like a real cat. How cats walk, how they sit, and how they completely ignore everyone. After practicing for a while, Gidget finally starts acting exactly like a cat. Then she returns to the cat apartment with Norman the guinea pig. Inside the room, she spots Busy Bee sitting on top of a cat tower, so she quietly climbs the tower. At the top, a giant cat is sleeping while holding Busy Bee. Carefully, Gidget grabs Busy Bee from the cat's paws, but the moment she does, the cat wakes up, and now it's furious. The angry cat immediately attacks Gidget. Just then, Norman turns on a laser pointer. The cat instantly gets distracted by the little red dot. It jumps around trying to catch the dot, but suddenly slips and falls off the tower. Now the cat is even angrier, so it commands all the other cats in the room to attack Gidget. Seeing this, Norman quickly points the laser dot right in front of Gidget. Gidget places her paw over the red dot. Then Norman turns the laser off. To the cats, it looks like Gidget actually caught the red dot, and catching the red dot is basically every cat's ultimate dream. The cats are completely shocked. They instantly declare Gidget their queen. Taking advantage of the situation, Gidget grabs Busy Bee and starts giving orders to all the cats. Meanwhile, back at the farm, Rooster is busy herding all the cows back into their yard. Duke is amazed and starts praising Rooster. Suddenly, one pig escapes from its pen. Trying to impress Duke, Max attempts to herd the pig back, but the pig completely ignores him. So Max tries copying Rooster and bites the pig's tail. The pig gets angry and launches Max across the farm. Max crashes straight into the sheepyard, breaking the fence, and all the sheep escape. Rooster quickly arrives and manages to herd the sheep back inside, but one baby sheep named Cotton runs off into the forest. So Rooster takes Max along to find him. As they move deeper into the forest, Max becomes exhausted. He's tired and scared and wants to go back, but Rooster refuses. Eventually, they find Cotton standing on a weak tree branch near a deep canyon, eating apples. Rooster tells Max that the tree is too fragile to hold his weight, so Max has to rescue Cotton himself. But when Max looks down into the canyon, he gets terrified. He says, "I can't do this. It's way too high. I'm scared." Rooster replies, "The only way to become brave is to think like you're brave first. Trust yourself. If you can't face a small challenge like this, how will you ever protect Liam?" Hearing this gives Max courage, so he carefully climbs down toward Cotton, but Cotton's leg is stuck in the tree. Max climbs onto the fragile branch to free him. The tree begins cracking under their weight. It starts falling into the canyon. Max grabs Cotton by the tail and pulls him free, tossing him safely onto the rocks. Cotton struggles to climb back up, so Max pushes him up the cliff. But while helping him, Max suddenly loses his footing and begins falling into the canyon. At the last second, Rooster grabs Max's collar tag and pulls him back up. Later that night, Max walks over to Rooster. Rooster is sitting on top of a car, barking loudly into the night. He tells Max, "You need to listen to your inner voice. Once you do, life becomes a lot easier." Max tries barking like Rooster, but at first, no sound comes out. Rooster encourages him and teaches him how. Finally, Max manages to bark properly, and soon both of them are standing there together, barking loudly into the night sky. The The next day, Max and his family are getting ready to head back home. Before leaving, Rooster gives Max his own neck bandana as a gift. Max feels honored and happily thanks him. Then Max, Duke, and Liam hop into the car and begin their journey back to the city. Meanwhile, back at the circus, Sergey discovers that Who has escaped. He immediately blames his wolves for the mistake. The wolves feel ashamed and angry. Just then, Sergey finds Daisy's hair clip on the ground. The moment the wolves smell it, they become furious. Sergey quickly realizes that whoever owns this clip is the one who helped Who escape, so he lets the wolves smell the clip and releases them to track Daisy down. The wolves rush toward the city. Soon they arrive at a garden where Daisy is happily telling her friends the story of how she rescued Who, but suddenly the wolves appear. Seeing them, Daisy's friends immediately run away in fear, but Daisy manages to trick the wolves and escape. Meanwhile, Pop arrives with Who and meets Snowball. Pop is furious. He complains that Who has destroyed almost everything in his room. He even says, "That tiger ate my TV." Pop refuses to keep Who there any longer and tells Snowball to take him somewhere else. Snowball tries to convince Pop, but Pop ignores him and walks away. Now Snowball has no idea where to hide Who. Then he suddenly remembers Max is away on vacation, so Snowball decides to hide Who inside Max's room. Who climbs onto Max's bed and peacefully falls asleep. Snowball quietly leaves the room, but just then Gidget notices him coming out of Max's room. She suspiciously asks, "Why were you in Max's room?" Snowball quickly makes up an excuse. He says he wanted to talk to Max about something important, but forgot that Max is still on vacation. Then Snowball asks Gidget what she's doing with so many cats. Gidget also avoids answering and makes an excuse. That night, Max finally returns home with Liam and Duke. They all go to sleep in Max's room, but Daisy has already told Snowball about the wolves chasing them. So Snowball and Daisy quietly sneak in to move Ho out of Max's room, but Max suddenly wakes up and catches them. Confused, Max asks Snowball what Ho is doing here. Before Snowball can explain, the wolves suddenly arrive. Remembering Rooster's words about bravery, Max decides to stand his ground, but Sergey kicks Max and throws him back into the room. Snowball quickly takes Ho to the roof of the building to hide him, but Sergey's monkey suddenly appears there. The monkey attacks Snowball and throws him into an air conditioning vent. Soon Sergey arrives on the roof with the wolves. He uses a tranquilizer dart to knock Ho unconscious. Daisy tries to stop him, but Sergey captures both Ho and Daisy and locks them inside cages. Then he loads them onto his truck and drives away. Seeing Ho captured again makes Max feel terrible, so Max, Snowball, and Norman the guinea pig decide to chase Sergey's truck. Snowball calls Gidget for help. Gidget and her army of cats hide all the cat food in the house. When the cat lady can't find any food, she loads all the cats into her car and drives to the market. But the cats secretly take control of the car and drive it toward the location Snowball gave them. Meanwhile, Sergey takes Ho onto a moving train. Max and Snowball also jump onto the train to rescue him, but Snowball accidentally falls into one of the train cars. But suddenly, the wolves appear again. Max runs across a bundle of metal pipes. When the wolves approach, Max kicks the bundle loose and the pipes roll off the train, sending the wolves falling off. Inside the train, Snowball finds Daisy stuck inside a circus cannon. Sergey's monkey lights the cannon, but before it fires, Daisy jumps out. Daisy quickly shoves the monkey inside the cannon instead. The cannon fires, launching the monkey out of the train and straight into Max, knocking him off the train, but Max refuses to give up. Near a tunnel, he manages to jump back onto the train again, and finally, he reaches Who. When Sergey sees Max on the train, he becomes furious. Max suddenly bites him. At that moment, Snowball and Daisy arrive, and the three of them start attacking Sergey together. The chaos scares the train driver, and he quickly stops the train. Max and his friends grab Who and begin escaping, but Sergey pulls out a gun and points it at them. He prepares to shoot Who, but just before he can pull the trigger, the cat lady suddenly crashes her car straight into Sergey. The impact sends him flying across the ground. Max and his friends quickly jump into the car. The cat lady drives forward again and hits Sergey one more time before finally speeding away. The cat lady has very poor eyesight. Because of that, she doesn't even realize that Who is actually a white tiger. So Chloe secretly takes Who to the cat lady's apartment. There, Who begins living happily with all the other cats. Later, Max goes with his family to drop Liam off at preschool, but now Max is no longer overly worried about him. Instead of being scared all the time, Max finally feels proud and happy. Liam hugs Max and Duke one last time before walking inside the preschool, and Max realizes something important. Sometimes the best way to protect someone is to let them grow on their own. A story that reminds us that sometimes love means protecting, and sometimes it means letting go. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing movie stories like this. Because here, every movie hides a story worth discovering. Until next time, stay curious.